In this video, I'm going to be coaching for my very first promo demo with the one and only, the legendary Mr. Marc Graue. So sit back, buckle up, and get ready for the show. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to play for you exactly how my demo turned out. There were some subtle changes, so stay tuned to find out. I've brought Marc on today. We're going to be talking about promos, which he knows a hell of a lot about. And I'm going to be cutting a new promo demo with Marc. And today we're going to go over some promos. So Marc, new people on this channel, they're like, what is a promo? How do we, isn't that the same thing as a commercial? What's a promo?
Well, first, everything we're doing basically is telling a story, of course. So even as short as this is, you are still telling a story. What a lot of the time you're doing is setting up, what the bite is for the show, et cetera. You've got, sitcoms, you've got stuff like on Lifetime and Oxygen that's a lot more, oh my God, he's got cancer, but he'll survive, that kind of stuff. There are things where you become a show voice, like all of a sudden now you're the voice for Survivor. So that you do that, all of the interstitials on that. The next on is the coming next week. Next time on, all of that kind of for that specific show. There are also station announcers, a station voice, which a lot of the time is independent stations. And that's stuff that is basically you do the book, and the book is 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. all around the clock. And that's all the interstitials. This morning's weather report's brought to you by Fred's Restaurant downtown in Maine, blah, 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 blah. But first, coming up is, Laura Ingalls discovers her wazoo on Little House on the Prairie or whatever it may be, and followed by an all-new A-Team. But it's all rerun, old shows, and those are independent stations. Most of those are now, but you can make, very, very, very good money doing that as the voice of a station. Now, the difference with that is that you change up, the style of stuff you're doing. In this case, with a promo demo, you're going to change up from something that's comedy, something that's action, something that's maybe reality, something that's a little more affiliate based. Now, there are two schools of thought on that. Affiliate stations are basically ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox that are the affiliate in Phoenix, Arizona, in, Charlotte, North Carolina, in New Orleans, in, Orlando, Florida. So it's not the main station, KCBS TV or WCBS TV in LA, New York. They're affiliate stations. Most of those have news departments, and a lot of that. So you'll have some of that on there. But it's interesting what we were talking about with the independent stations is a lot of those don't have the budget to actually have a news department. So you're just doing the interstitial stuff, and you can basically whip out the book 6 to 6, an hour and a half maybe, if that. Now, if they do have a news department, then you end up doing what's called a hot promo, and a hot promo is tonight on the news at 10, and it's whatever today's current events are, and that's that's primarily what's on affiliates. Affiliates also do that. KATT, KATV News, Channel 2 with blah, 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 weather, da-da-da news, da-da-da sports. That's all the affiliate stuff. And then you do the promos for that as well as, tonight, an in-depth, undercover report, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's mostly affiliate stuff. HBO and Netflix and Prime and, TNT and USA and all of those, if you'll notice, there's a voice to, and now the HBO presentation of blah, 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 all of that stuff, people are getting paid to do all of that kind of stuff.
So it's a short, trailer, like a movie trailer for a TV program of some sort in a wide range.
In essence, yes. The range comes from what kind of programming it is, which goes back to if you're doing a commercial read, again, you're adapting to what that is. Are you a young mom? Are you a guy BSing with the guys in the backyard drinking a beer? Are you, elegant walking down the steps of a museum with a glass of champagne? Are you so each one of those is a little bit different feel. And then if you pick up a show, you can do extraordinarily well. I've done even Cartoon Network and I have a promo reel that's all character promos, Futurama, and for all kinds of other shows that I've done, and doing a pirate's voice and doing a Dracula voice for Halloween and doing all of that that kind of stuff. Sure, which is kind of an interesting.
It's a massive part of voiceover. So if you're not getting into promos, really, you're leaving a lot of money on the
It's
table.
I think you're leaving a lot of money on the table. The thing is, you have to be prepared to do that. It's very bam, 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 bam time. I mean, in this case, where all of the other stuff I've said, I was lying on all those other sessions, basically with video games and animation, where you can take your time. This, no, they've got the voice. You need to shave 100th of a second. Fit that in. Usually, what they will do is, if the promo is finished, another great reason for having Source Connect, they will feed down the line to you. It's called a lot cut. And the lot cut, that's the finished version. It's all done. The only thing they don't have is the VO in it, but the holes are in it where the VO goes. And you get your script, and it says this is 6.2 seconds. This is 2.3 seconds. This is 7.4. This is that. But, and then you, in turn, as you're listening back to the thing, you're plugging your VO in there. Bump, 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 bump. And then they can go right to air. Literally, it'll take the guy, 5 minutes to mix. Everything's already in play. Boom, Deb, and it's on the air.
Wow. And now, like, what's the turnaround time on something like that? I've heard you can't go on vacation when you do promos when you're
that's pretty true, because again, it's a continuation of stuff. I mean, in other words, meaning that, if you're doing a show, that doesn't stop. And and everybody, I mean, I can't tell you how many guys say, no, I don't want to leave town because I was going to go back to New York, but I just because I'm doing this show, because they're afraid somebody else will step in and do the show, and they'll just stick with that. Now, I don't know that that's necessarily that true now, but they're very, in that aspect, it's a very non-forgiving business. If they like you, yes, they will. But if you look, Ernie Anderson, Ernie with the Love Boat, back in, all of that kind of stuff back when. But I've got, outs of Ernie just, God, you expect me to read this shit? A complete, just crap attack, but they would put up with Ernie because Ernie was a phenomenal announcer and had that stuff down, and usually what you will hear is, rather than, now Ernie would do across the board, which was kind of the first person really doing that. Now it's very select. In other words, a higher range thing, like, you're not going to hear Sip do a lot of scary voices. Joe Cipriano does amazingly well with game show kind of stuff, that very up to The Simpsons, coming up. He's got that style of voice. So you don't have to have the voice of God where the walls rattle and going, in a world. It's like you don't have to have that. There's so many different other kinds of shows that don't need that.
But at the same time, though, do you I feel like, well, from what I've seen so far, I haven't really done promos except for one for the show that I used to do, Back Road Truckers. I did the promo for that. But people in commercial base are always talking about not sounding like an announcer, sounding authentic. I think you have to put on a bit of a energy, or would you say?
If you listen, it's a network announcer. It's not a network voiceover artist. They call him a network announcer. It's that kind of, or in-show announcer or show announcer. There definitely is a little more to that, a little more push. Yeah. And the whole thing is, your voice is what's driving the excitement, whether it's coming up next, whether it's coming up next Tuesday, this Thursday, whatever that may be. But it's your voice that's driving those bites. Sometimes the comedy plays off your bite, but could this really be happening? Yes, of course it could. I've got a promo that basically I did for, I could play it. I don't think it would come through. It was a Futurama thing, and basically it's like, Dad, can't you stop this? No, I'm just the announcer guy. That kind of, so it's like, playing off of that kind of stuff. Yeah. But usually you're either commenting on what you're currently looking at, commenting on what you've just seen, or commenting on what's coming up.
Okay.
And it's very short and sweet. You need to be right in there. And what happens, what's very funny is, when you do this for a while, you build an internal clock, and people are always amazed with, wow, you just shaved that and it fit right in. And it's not any great. You just get used to doing that and go, okay, great. It's the classical sounding faster without reading quicker. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Should we jump into it and show
give it a try? Sure.
What's what?
Absolutely. What would you like to jump into here initially?
Okay. Well, why don't we look at, because we worked on a set of promos that you guys didn't get to see before, and now Marc's throwing some new promos at me. So let's go with the new promos that I haven't worked on yet. What should we start with? Fire Country?
You got it. Now,
Okay.
see, this is very short. On the next fire country, Bodie and Manny fight high winds and a fire that threatens Walter's care facility. Boom. Then, here, an all new fire country, CBS Friday. And that's it. That's as much voice as you have to it because what they're doing is putting in bites on the show. So it'll be on the next fire country, bite, ba 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 ba. Bodie and Manny fight high winds and a fire that threatens Walter's care facility, bite, ba 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 ba. An all new fire country, CBS Friday.
Okay, I got you. All right, here we go. You ready? On the next fire country, Bodie and Manny fight high winds and a fire that threatens Walter's care facility. An all new fire country, CBS Friday.
Nice. So pull back a little bit. It does have that drama to it, but it's not quite as
Okay.
push. So it's and the interesting thing is you'll even run into stuff when you're doing movies like on TBS, and it's like Freddy is back. It's like this
Yeah.
Halloween, and they'll do that, 31 days of horror, starting with Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's like, ooh, so you can change that. But in this case, no, it's definitely action, fire, shit going on, a lot of stuff. So your voice needs to cut through that, but you don't want to push not too hard, just pull back a little bit.
On the next fire country, Bodie and Manny fight high winds and a fire that threatens Walter's care facility. An all new fire country, CBS Friday.
And the only thing you want to do is billboard the name. So it's like on the next fire country, Bodie and Manny fight high wind, blah, 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 Walter's care facility, an all new fire country, CBS Friday. You want to make sure that name is, there it is. That's the show.
On the next fire country, Bodie and Manny fight high winds in a fire that threatens Walter's care facility. An all new fire country, CBS Friday.
There you go. Nice. Nice
Okay.
read. There you go. Yeah, that's right in the pipe. And that you're telling a story. And you're basically setting up what's going on without pushing too hard. The bites will go on there. It'll fit with that, with
Yeah.
what you're doing. So it doesn't. Now, there are times that you intentionally want to go overboard silliness. Again, that's like I was talking about character promos, which
Yeah.
are a little silly. And in that case, you'd want to do something that's a little more, that kind of thing. But in that case, I think for that style of show is great. Now, Shifting Gears is a sitcom, so obviously those are always a little more pushed and lots of smile. This is happy, like isn't this funny?
Yeah.
It's like if you don't watch this show, your life will suck.
It's like the old promos for Full House.
There you go. It's about the same. There you go, pretty much.
Matt is a stubborn, widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop. But when Matt's daughter and her kids move into his house, the real restoration begins. Tim Allen stars in an all-new season of Shifting Gears on ABC.
Yeah, exactly. You went Shifting Gears. It sounds like you don't. And again, you're the voice that makes me go, ooh, here, I better set the DV player. I better do whatever. I want to record this, or I want to be home to watch this, or whatever. So it's like, and Matt, we're assuming that you kind of already know who Matt is. So, and it's Tim Allen. So obviously, who is one of us. So is Matt, as a stubborn widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop. But when Matt's daughter and her kids move into his house, the real restoration begins. Then there's a bite with Tim Allen stars in an all-new season of Shifting Gears on ABC.
All right, we got this. Here we go. Come on, Jesse. Come on. Matt is a stubborn, widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop. But when Matt's daughter and her kids move into his house, the real restoration begins. Tim Allen stars in an all-new season of Shifting Gears on ABC.
Nice. You're right in the pocket on this. Just make a little more sure, because it's like, he's the widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop. But when his daughter and her kids move into the house, that's when the real restoration, that's what you're setting up.
Pour
And then,
on the cheese, huh?
Well, it's just when the real restoration, that's obviously that's going to lead into whatever the funny bit is, and that's the bite.
Matt is a stubborn, widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop. But when Matt's daughter and her kids move into his house, the real restoration begins. Tim Allen stars in an all-new season of Shifting Gears on ABC.
Nice. If shifting, yeah. And a lot of the time, too, now they're going, I don't know, they started this about 5 years ago. Sometimes they'll go on ABC. Sometimes they'll go Tim Allen stars an all-new season of Shifting Gears, ABC. And just without even saying on, which doesn't sound like, it's not exactly proper grammar, but what the hell, it works, so why not?
Promos are fun. You just get to belt it out sometimes.
Pretty much, it's a little bit different style of stuff.
Yeah.
When we get into doing some of your reality show stuff, that can be where you're really pushing because they're just bleeping every other word with a 1K tone. You beep 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 beep. Because while Sally's outside having a drink, Karen's inside saying beep 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 beep. Beep. You beep you. Beep, 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 beep,
Oh,
and all new. Beep,
can we do
right.
one like that? I don't know,
Well,
like Love is Blind or Real Housewives.
whatever
Selling
you want.
Sunset. That's another one like that.
Well, whatever we have up here. I mean, we can always change things up too, as if you like. But yeah, go and try Love Is Blind.
Okay. The newest smash hit from Netflix, Love is Blind. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. Hosted by Nick Lackey and his wife, Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst of couples in love.
The key here is in the newest smash hit from Netflix, Love is Blind, right? Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face.
Right.
And that's where we're going to go into a thing like, oh, I don't know, she sounds like she's probably really hot, but I don't know. Hosted by Nick Lackey and his wife, Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst because that's the best. I think this is it. And the worst, you beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
of couples in love. It's like they're getting divorced before they've ever gotten married.
It's the newest smash hit from Netflix, Love is Blind. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. Hosted by Nick Lackey and his wife, Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst of couples in love.
Nice. So you can play with volume a little bit as well on that. So that single, it's like that's a side thing again. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. Okay. Hosted by Nick Lackey and his wife Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst of couples in love. And it's like, and the worst. And you really want to hit that because that's where classic reality show, as long as somebody's throwing a glass of wine at somebody or yelling at somebody or storming off or something, that's obviously what that's going into. That's the worst.
Oh, you can throw like the into Love is Blind. I didn't know it was that kind of a show. I thought that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like with the swearing in the background?
What I mean, as far as mix? Oh, sure. Now, oh yeah, no. When we go to mix it, of course we will. You won't do that, but oh yeah, of course. But I mean, we'll be beeping it, just like you normally would. You're a beep, beep. You're a beep.
I didn't know it was that kind of show. I thought it was a little bit more tame, but that's
well,
good.
no. I have no idea what. I'm just saying that a reality show is not. It may be way, way, way more tame than that. Again, there's another one on your Martha's Vineyard. Could be the same thing. I'm just saying it's like a housewife show. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where they do that stuff, and then everybody's yelling at each other, and they all look like they've got spackle in their cheeks and lips, and life is good. Too much money and too much time on your hands.
Yeah.
So, but no. I don't know that this is that kind of show. I'm just saying that most reality shows, even in that case, and the worst, it's going to be like, you're an idiot, Dad, I can't believe you do. I mean, maybe it's not beeped and cussing, but it's going to be something that's just as bad. I can't believe what, Dad, like, what, you slept with her? I thought you said you loved me, or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here we go.
On the newest smash hit from Netflix, Love is Blind. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. Hosted by Nick Lackey and his wife Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst of couples in love.
So the key is just, make that a little more. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. And that's what the whole base of the show is.
Got it.
Is the fact that they're falling in love and you never get to see them. So it's like, don't look at me, I'm hideous, I'm not an animal, I'm a human. It's like, oh, that's great. You want to go to In-N-Out? And same thing with that last, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst.
It's the newest smash hit from Netflix, Love is Blind. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. Hosted by Nick Lackey and his wife Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst in couples in love.
But when you're doing without ever, because you're kind of going without ever seeing each other face to face, which sounds like you ugly bastard, and you don't want to sound mean about
You want
it.
to sound like it's fun without ever seeing each other face to face.
Yeah, it's like without ever seeing each other face to face. Like, oh, geez, okay.
I got
So
it.
that's a weird concept. Yeah, that's all. And you're just setting up the concept for the show is all.
It's the newest smash hit from Netflix. Love is Blind. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face. Hosted by Nick Lachey and his wife Vanessa, Love is Blind shows off the best and the worst of couples in love.
What else we want to look at here, man?
Let's check out I don't know, maybe Tracker, I guess.
Sure.
Coulter Shaw is a loner, but he knows how to get the job done. When someone is missing, you call him to track them down and bring them back. Tracker, an all-new episode tomorrow, 8/7 Central on CBS.
And take out the on this. So it's like Coulter Shaw is a loner, but he knows how to get the job done. When someone is missing, you call him to track him down and bring him back. Tracker, an all-new episode tomorrow, 8/7 Central CBS.
Coulter Shaw is a loner, but he knows how to get the job done. When someone is missing, you call him to track him down and bring him back. Tracker, an all-new episode tomorrow, 8/7 Central CBS.
There you go. And that's got a bunch, and again, action show. So there's a lot, it's got that little kind of detective-y thing in there as well. So there's a little drama in there.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to be with that kind of feel. Sure. Absolutely. Okay. And the whole thing we're trying to show with the reel is just like a commercial where you want to show that variety. Like, here's what I sound like in this main, here's what I sound like in this, here's what I sound like in this. And so when we actually go to try, we'll really, really fine tune and really get in and, put stuff in there and make it work. Because a lot of the time it's stuff that feels really odd. Obviously, in that case, having you do multiple takes to find out what is really going to fit best with what the bites are, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Moving on?
Sure, why not?
Let's check out maybe, I don't know, Fox 32 Chicago or
sure.
KAT Katu. Two more.
Either one of these, man, whichever works for you.
Fox 32 because it's shorter, and I feel like I'm not doing the greatest.
Well, the only difference with the other one is that wake up to K2 News in the morning with Brian Wood and Angelica Thornton, delivering news that will impact your day, and Hannah Olson with Time Saver Traffic. Plus, find out what's in store for your day with Storm Tracker weather and road. So it's
so long.
And you have to kind of look and see. Run the show like K2, okay, but yeah, so it's like just to kind of because it's like oh shit, it's going. But that's classic news opening.
I got you.
That's what you do. Or promo during the day. It's like here's wake up and this is here. Look at that. Here's all the people. This is what's going on, and you know how it shows that so and so weather, so and so news, so and so sports.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Wake up to the K2 News in the morning with Brian Wood and Angelica Thornton, delivering news that will impact your day, and Hannah Olson with Time Saver Traffic. Plus, find out what's in store for your day with Storm Tracker with weather. Oh my God, it's so long.
I know. Let's look at the Fox spot. That'll be easier to pull off right now.
Okay. Wake up to the sounds, the people, and the places that make our city shine. Wake up to Good Day Chicago. Weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Chicago's Fox 32.
Nice. So you saw a little beat. Wake up to the sounds, the people, and the places that make our city shine. Wake up to Good Day Chicago. Weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Chicago's Fox 32. Okay. But it's like, give yourself a little beat because it's going to show. Wake up to the sounds, and whatever it is, the people. There's going to be little bites going in on each one of those.
Yeah. Wake up to the sounds, the people, and the places that make our city shine. Wake up to Good Day Chicago. Weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Chicago's Fox 32.
There you go. Nice. And that's got that bright, kind of nice, happy, hey, we're waking up to jazz. That's great.
Should we try one of the other ones?
All right, Fearfest guy.
Fearfest is back. AMC brings you 31 days of nonstop terror. And get fear all year. With Shudder on AMC Plus. Home of the best in horror, with exclusive frights you can't find anywhere else. Get shocked by Shudder.
Nice. Bring your volume down and just that Fear Fest is back. Okay. It's like ooh, and this is where this is that 31 days. So this is that Halloweeny, you know,
Yeah.
just like they're showing a movie every day. So and they're going to show all the different Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, all of that old slasher movie stuff, So just make it a little, ooh, it's the home of the best in horror with exclusive frights you can't find anywhere else. Get shocked by Shudder.
Fear Fest is back. AMC brings you 31 days of non-stop terror. And get fear all year with Shudder on AMC Plus, home of the best in horror, with exclusive frights you can't find anywhere else. Get shocked by Shudder.
Nice. The only thing you need to do is pull back on a nudge because we're still hitting each word like that,
Too
and you
much?
just pull it back a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can still do the scary thing, but once again, tell me a scary story, and that should smooth it out without having to
Okay.
get too specific.
Fear Fest is back. AMC brings you 31 days of nonstop terror. And get fear all year with Shudder on AMC Plus, home of the best in horror, with exclusive frights you can't find anywhere else. Get shocked by Shudder.
Nice. The only thing you want to do is make a little more of with exclusive frights. You can't get it because that's kind of a weird phrase. That's that made up like, oh, exclusive frights. Okay. Not exclusive nights or not fights, but frights.
Frights.
Yeah. So
I
we
got you.
we
So you
just want to
hit
make,
it. Okay.
yeah, so that they understand. Oh, okay, cool.
One more time.
That's like their, I wrote that as a funny. It's like, that's great. Okay. Sorry.
Fear Fest is back. AMC brings you 31 days of nonstop terror. And get fear all year with Shudder on AMC Plus, home of the best in horror, with exclusive frights you can't find anywhere else. Get shocked by Shudder.
Nice. And there we go. And probably when you do exclusive frights, you'll probably something going there too. That shows the girl, like, or somebody being stabbed or whatever. Oh, yeah,
Chainsaw going?
exactly.
Can we do that?
Exactly. Yeah, oh, yeah, it'll be all creepy. The creeposaurus, you know.
Nice.
You could do that Fox Daytona if you want, but I think we can get a better Daytona spot than this. We'll find one, get a better piece than this.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted like some kind of sports one. I thought race car works really well. I do a lot of car spots. But I mean also like, MLB or NHL or whatever.
Sure.
Would you consider like, cuz we talked about before we started recording WWE, but would that just fall along like the sports thing even though it's like kind of fake sports?
Well,
Probably, right?
pretty much. It most. I mean, you know that, but most of the WWE stuff is a little more pushed.
Okay.
Now there used to be Dick Vosti used to do all of that stuff on the NFL on Fox, and he just dragged that out, and he just had that amazing, and that's what he would do. But the WWE seems to be denying the WWE, that kind of da da da. Yeah, they're gonna kick this out of each other. It's like okay, so we can do that, sure. I mean that could count as one. It's just that what you start running into is that situation of okay, what do we leave and what do we cut because you're up
Right.
against time.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll just play around with the Daytona one and we'll just go with like a sports one, I think. Oh yeah, and everybody watching, hit me up in the comments. Let me know. What do you think I should do for my sports spot with my voice? Do you think a race car one like that Daytona 500? Do you think baseball? Do you think NFL? Do you think NHL, hockey? Because I'm from Canada. People don't care about that here. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Or do you think WWE? Let me know in the comments.
I think it should probably be ballet. That's me. Oh.
You know what? I was actually thinking that. Grab your crew and enter for a chance to win the ultimate Daytona 500 experience. Upload photos of your crew to foxsports.com/grabyourcrew. The fans vote for their favorite crew, and the winners head to the Daytona 500.
Nice. So I would hit your on that second. Upload photos of your crew to foxsports.com/grabyourcrew. Then fans vote for their favorite crew, and the winners head to the Daytona 500. So I pull back just
This one's
a
almost
hair.
like commercially, hey?
It is. That's why I'm saying but we'll find it different because it's a little more in that vein rather than actually, this Saturday, Dale Earnhardt, defends his, that kind of thing. It's a little more.
Is he still racing?
I don't think so. That's the first name that came to thought. Actually, my son, on his 21st birthday, I took him to out to a race in Fontana in LA, and I got the racetrack announcer to announce him, and they brought him down on the track and wished him happy birthday, and then they put him in the pace car and took him around.
Wow.
He was bouncing off the wall. But I just love because the guy sitting by, well, yeah, because last season that sumbitch was running dualies on that sumbitch too, and this year I think he's only running quad. So I don't think he's going to have the same kind of power that he got up there too, unless he's got one of them, and it's like you feel like he says he's got a very good car that is going to go fast. It's like, I don't know what you're saying, but okay, I'm assuming he's going to haul ass. Great.
I couldn't imagine what you and Robin Williams were like in the same room.
It's sweet. It was it was a battle of craziness, and then Jonathan, two winners, which is so.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was fun. I was crazy blessed to be part of all of that. It was nuts.
Grab your crew and enter for a chance to win the ultimate Daytona 500 experience. Upload photos of your crew to foxsports.com/grabyourcrew. The fans vote for their favorite crew, and the winners head to the Daytona 500.
No, and you see, and I like that too. The thing that throws you off is that whole upload your photos, and it kind of takes away from the whole. So we'll find one that's more. Yeah. So we could do that. We could do a WWE promo, kind of whatever you feel more in tune to fitting in there. Yeah. That's easily done.
I think honestly, like what I'll probably do is just have a think of it and like maybe read a few on my own and just
sure.
And then I'll just get back to you with like, hey, it's going to be like either NHL or WWE or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then we'll just go with it. Because the main thing isn't like, if I have this right, I think they're just trying to get a flavor of what my voice would sound on like that sort of genre, right? They're not going to go, oh, he did an NHL spot, he can't do NFL then, or vice versa, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find you here. I want to share this with you if I can find. This is off of, let's see if I can just find this really quick. Okay, so this is just like to give you an idea. Here you go. It's this one right here, that one right there that you're on.
The boys are back in town.
I got a pretty dope sense of humor, bro.
And this time they're on TBS. Get smashed 3 times this weekend with The Hangover Part 2.
I love cocaine!
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights at 9. Only on TBS. Very funny. In a haunted manor, 8 celebrities assemble.
Hello?
Soon they will tremble. Who will stay? Who will go? This Friday, you will know. Scared Famous. On VH1. Get ready, people. Big Brother is back with host Julie Chen.
Well, it's a brand new season, and a shocking new twist is about to hit the Big Brother house.
But after the first champagne toast...
What'd you say?
The claws come out.
Oh, hit me!
Big Brother premieres CBS July 12th. His investigations have resulted in millions of dollars in refunds. Tonight, Channel 4's Joel Grover asks the question, how safe is online shopping?
Here's Joel now with the results of his 3-month investigation.
Find out tonight on the Channel 4 News at 11. It's the biggest blockbuster competition ever.
No.
Wow, that's unfreaking believable.
I'm Batman. Holy brick.
Lego Masters, only on Fox.
There you go. Wow. And so you can see how that,
Yeah. Is it still sharing? No, it's done. Okay.
Yeah. And it gives it a really nice feel to it, and that's adding. The weird thing is actually added that video after it matched all the mouth movement, like on the news guys, which was ridiculously stupid to do, but it comes out pretty tight.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Cool. And it moves really well, and it gives you something to look at, and it's kind of a fun, like, oh, wow, that's so. But it just shows, and again, you see the variety of stuff there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you find it's important to get like a video demo done, or
The only reason I think it's good to do is that internet wise, et cetera, everything is so visual.
yeah.
People are so used to looking at something that when it's just audio, sometimes I think you kind of be like, oh, okay,
So,
it doesn't really grab your attention as
so
much.
you would get like video demos done for everything except maybe animation and video games?
No, I would even do it. I've done, if you bring up stuff on that, you can look and see even on this stuff. I've done those too, animation, video game,
How do you
commercial.
match the voices?
Because a lot of time you don't have to match. I can grab just the stuff and use a different section that the voice fits, but it's not just
Yeah.
or if it's a real piece, I can intersperse a real piece that was used that she actually did, like without, and then an added piece as well. That's like if it's a computer thing with a thing going, that kind of stuff. With a computer voice. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting. Yeah, I think visually, it just sometimes, it's like the Opus thing I just did with
That was
it just,
amazing.
but I mean, it gives you something to look at, and it's just a completely different, very, very different approach to that as all.
Coulter Shaw's a loner, but he knows how to get the job done.
This guy's got a long history of mistreating women and getting away with it.
When someone is missing, you call him to track him down and bring him back.
There's no sign of Francie. I got his laptop here. Can you open it if I tether you in?
Yeah, of course.
Tracker, an all-new episode tomorrow, 8/7 Central CBS. Fear Fest is back. AMC brings you 31 days of nonstop terror. Get shocked by Shudder. This summer, things are heating up in paradise.
What? Okay, that's messy as
Get ready for Love Island, the ultimate reality romance roller coaster.
Every day I'm here, I just fall more and more.
Couples will form, hearts will break,
I have to go.
Amy, why? No.
and drama will explode under the tropical sun.
Everyone who was madness.
Hot, wild, and unpredictable. Love Island, streaming now on Peacock. Wake up to the sounds, the people, and the places that make our city shine.
We are the city of big voices.
Good Day Chicago. Weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Chicago's Fox 32. Matt is a stubborn, widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop.
Classic car, and little problems turn into big problems.
But when Matt's daughter and her kids move into his house, the real restoration begins.
I thought it would be great if we could do this as a family.
How do I put this in a way you'll understand?
Tim Allen stars in an all-new season of Shifting Gears on ABC. Are you ready for some football? The hits are harder. The plays are wilder. And the road to the Super Bowl starts now. The NFL. This is more than a game. It's football season. Let's ride.
So that's it. That's the end of this video. I hope it gave you some insight into what promo is, what it's like to coach with Marc Graue for one, what it's like to cut that demo, and the differences between coaching and why you should get coaching first and then do the demo. So hope you got a lot of value out of this. And as always, if you did, like, subscribe. I think it's only like 60% of people that watch this channel are subscribed. So subscribe, please. I'm begging you. I'm not begging you, but please, I am begging you, actually. If you want to support this channel, that's the best way to do it. When you subscribe, I'm trying to get in more guests like Marc Graue, trying to do some interviews. So the more people that subscribe, the better the guests are going to get. We've already had some pretty knockout ones, and I've got some pretty great ones that I'm trying to get for you guys in the future. So if you want that to happen, hit subscribe, and we'll bring in some more guests for you. Other than that, I've been Jesse Carroll. This is another video, and we will see you in the next one. Peace. And I did that goddamn sign off again.